In a world full of chaos and destruction, four men are setting out to bring you the most important, nonsensical information that you didn't know you needed to know. Welcome to Essentially Nonsense.
Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Essentially Nonsense. I am joined by the likes of David Magda. I'm staring at the beautiful face of Blake Williams.
Ew.
And, this is a very special episode because our sweet dear baby boy, Nicholas, is getting married today. So we just thought it'd, be a good episode to reflect on our sweet dear prince, Nicholas. We love you wherever you are. I just thought it'd be good, everyone. Tell a story or two. The one they call Nick. Tricky Dick Nick, as they call him.
Oof. Get me all fired up. Hot and bothered.
I know Nick probably the least of you guys. Not going to Davis and Elkins College in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like the rest of you.
On top of a hill.
I was on top of a hill, but okay. Fair point. Fair point.
Walmart was the only thing close to you.
We had one gas station with a bar in it. All right. But so I don't. Was this freshman year? You guys, our freshman year, where I went up and we got a bottle of Jim Beam, and Blake, it was me, you, and Nick. We just walked around Elkins for like 2 hours. We just down an entire bottle of Jim Beams, walking to people's houses.
Hammered.
I don't know whose house we ended up at. I think we went to several. Yeah, I was hammered.
That was a long
What it was, because I was working night shift at the time, too. And I had gotten up at like 8 o'clock p.m. that night, went into work all night long. Left straight from the hospital to Elkins. Tried to nap it and couldn't. I was up for like 32 hours all in all, just drinking. Yeah, Nick was the one holding my hand through all of it. Nectar of the gods, he called it. Jim Beam apple.
It's in my camping bag right now.
It's in my freezer right now. You know what? Take over for me, Blake.
Oh no.
Yes. Here we are.
Oh, it's nice.
In honor of Nick. Jim Beam apple. Ooh. This one goes out to you, my dear prince.
This fucking guy.
Oh.
So it's sweet and delicious as you remember it.
Oh, it is. I had it last weekend and it wasn't very delicious then. So I mixed it with a good bit. So Dave, what's a memory of yours?
Alright. Well, Nick is actually the first person I ever talked to on campus that, wasn't a faculty member or whatever. And I remember I was eating lunch there on my visit, which, honestly, my visit was, literally just me going down there to tell them I'm going there. I guess they actually needed me to sign papers or some stupid shit. But he sat across from me at the lunch table, and he started talking about all the things he does on campus, all the chemistry and other cool stuff that there is.
He's a nerd.
And about cross country, of course. And I remember looking at this guy and I'm like, this goofy ass dude right here, what the hell? And later he told me that he only sat by me because he didn't want to sit with the rest of the fuckers. I was like, well, you know what?
His last option.
Yeah, that was basically it. It was just a ditch of his other teammates at the time, including Blake. He had to ditch Blake for this.
I didn't even think about Blake being there.
I didn't want to talk about it.
So yeah, I mean, my first memory is being used as basically a backup to his friends. But I actually I lived down the hall from him basically in the same dorm because he was an RA. And it got to the point where I would basically be Nick, Blake, and I hanging out in his room till 2 or 3 in the morning. We'd go out to McDonald's. We'd buy 5 or 6 cheeseburgers, go out to some trails, climb up, sit on this bench and look out over beautiful Elkins, just gnawing on cheeseburgers. We spent so many nights like that. That was good. Like it's
was it Nick that bought pizza with me at Domino's at like 2 a.m?
Good chance.
That was the hottest fucking pizza I've ever eaten in my life. That was
I
hot.
don't remember. So there's a good chance.
God, that was so hot.
I mean, there's always something about just getting food at 2 a.m. with the boys. You
No,
know?
look, he isn't here right now, but last weekend got some wings when I was drunk. My buddy Dylan. Ooh. Look, I used to, hey, look, I'm gonna derail this conversation for a second. But I used to think that Lots of Matza was the go-to drunk place in Morgantown. Nope. DP Does. Oh my lord, you haven't had DP Does yet. DP Does, if you're listening, we will accept the sponsorship. All right. We'll worry about that. We'll work all the details out later. All right, go ahead and continue.
I mean, so basically, like, my memories of Nick were just hanging out, having a great time, and really, like, that's probably, like, one of the best years of college, honestly.
Yeah.
Was the first year. And most people are like, oh, it's the shitty one because you don't have any friends, but I don't know. I mean, it was just Nick, Blake, Mason, and I, and
It really was.
like, that was just fucking solid. It was a great-ass year. I would do it again.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd ever go back and do one of my school years again, but I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
I didn't do a lot of learning that year because the motto was you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So
Yep.
But
And I could tell you by the end of the year, between us three, we could hammer the liquor.
yeah, that time I had to save Blake from finishing a bottle of fucking vodka or whatever it was because he got hit up by like what are the odds or something, and there's quite a bit left.
So pissed off.
Nick
They stole.
wasn't even in his room when we were playing beer pong at this time.
No, he was down.
He was on duty as an RA.
Yeah, he said he was gonna look out for security for us, and when he saw them come in, he was just gonna go up, say he was doing a round, and warn us.
Nick's the worst. He's a good friend, but he's just a garbage fucking worker. I mean, like, sorry if I'm alright, I'm throwing your asses under the bus. I'm calling the cops.
I think my first weekend there, a freshman tried to fight Nick. I think
Really?
Yeah, they got kicked out like right after that. It was the very first weekend.
That was intense too. Like that couple of days that went on.
What did he do to start a fight?
Oh, he was just on duty. So I guess the kid, like, I'm assuming he had some kind of authority problems like I do, but I guess he just like chose Nick and he's like just started talking mad shit to him. He was trying to fight him.
I get to see all the RAs lined up, and it's like a girl, bodybuilder, guy probably looks like in his karate. Nick, like I'll pick on Nick.
And this guy wasn't little either, if I remember.
Damn. Yeah, going up to Davis Nelk was always really fun. That was probably like, that when I was up at West Lib, I have my friends obviously, but that in a couple weeks counting down, like, all right, shit's about to get real.
Deja vu. I'm almost there.
Yep, deja vu. But over here, see Blake, Dylan, Nick. I'm gonna see all these guys, man. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I lost my phone at the last party, and I found it the next day in the middle of the woods out by the ice house. Yeah, I don't remember it. I don't remember how it got there, but I do know I went over to a girl's room, like down Prez, which is just like 3 connected buildings. So I went over to one of the other buildings, and I remember being there, and she kept offering me some drink. I forget what it was, and
Called roofies.
and then I remember waking up in my bed the next morning, and I'm like, I cannot find my phone. So I ordered a new phone. I didn't even bother looking for it. So I ordered a new one, and then I was like, I can probably track it. And I did. And it was in the middle of the woods, right in the middle of campus.
I thought you just went for a run the next day and almost stepped on your phone, and there it was.
No, I was just walking around. I was like, that's fucking wild. So I had to cancel the order.
Yeah. Yeah, that deja vu. I'm still pissed off they stole my vodka. I don't know who stole it.
I
But
think
I'm pretty
Oh, I
sure
remember that.
I had just turned 20. That's one of my first 21-year-old purchases. And I was all excited about it, too. I bought a giant-ass fucking thing of Smirnoff.
Is that the same deja vu that I almost fought somebody for a sombrero?
Yes.
You almost
and-
fought somebody for sombrero?
I'm pretty sure it was the same deja vu as the Ajax bottle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was the Ajax model.
Yeah. Because I stole that sombrero from the frat. And then some guy, like, took it. And then I took it back. And I thought he was going to beat my ass. But then he apologized.
I don't see you as the confrontational type, David, but hell yeah, let's get this bread. Hell damn. All right, Blake, you've known Nick the longest.
Well, you see, me and Nick date back way back.
I bet you guys do date back.
We do date off and on.
If you call
here
that
and there.
dating.
Kind of run an off situation right now, but whenever he gets rid of his fiance, I'm going to be swooping in again.
Are you gonna be like one of those dramatic scenes, like I object, like right when the officiant says, speak now forever.
Yeah, it's exactly what's going to happen. Just wait.
Okay.
Me running in, his wedding's on Sunday. We should be leaving. They're not going to expect me coming in. Running down.
Looks like you're skiing there. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a good chance. But my favorite memory with Nick, it's kind of a longer memory because it's a long day, or a long evening, I should say. But it'll be Nick's senior year, my junior year, and we had these golf cart keys that our old coach, he didn't give them to us. We found them in the woods, but he left them with us. And we decided we were going to take the golf cart on the ride. And we had two other guys with us on the track that were on the track team.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided we were going to get the limousine, badass, brand new golf cart they had. And
Don't tell me you tried to steal it. Fucking.
oh no, we didn't try to steal it. We were already driving it. Yeah. So it was a regular occasion when we took the keys because the keys were universal. We went to every golf cart there. So we took the limousine golf cart this time. The last hoedown, go around. Nick's driving. We decide we're going to take it on the cross-country trails. Horrible mistake. These cross-country trails are a lot of uphills, one-person trails, not good for a golf cart that has, extended. Doesn't work.
I feel like a lot of these situations we would never be in without Nick, not necessarily leading us, but yanking the chain. Because this could be, your idea to steal a car, but I feel like you wouldn't have made that decision without Nick. He was yanking your chain to lead. He's kind of a fucked up. He
led me to the water. That's what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He tried to get it. It was him and I walking down one day in the middle of winter, going back to Derby, and he looked at these canoes and he said, "Hey, we should steal one of those canoes and sled in it." And I was like, you know what? That sounds like a fucking great idea. Let's do it. Unfortunately, they were chained up, unlike the golf carts, but it is Nick that kind of... He's just always there behind the scenes.
You would never have had that thought if it was not Nick.
Mm-hmm.
God, he's a fucked up guy.
Well, we took the golf carts down the trails. We eventually get to a point where even when you're running it, you slow down to almost walking pace because you have to climb over top of roots. So we wrap around this turn, and Nick steps on the gas a little bit and then gets hung up right in dead center of this freaking golf cart. So me and the two other guys get out, we lift it up, and Nick puts it in reverse and backs up. Well, our thought process is, we're just going to have to, back up and get out of here.
Just fucking hit it harder.
Nick backed up to as far as he can go. He stepped on the gas, we jumped out of the way, and he landed right in the same exact spot.
Wide fucking open.
Yeah, because it's a giant freaking limousine golf cart. Dead centered it again. So instead of this time backing him up, we decided we're going to pick him up in the backside and push him over top the route, so we didn't have to go through this again.
God.
And we ended up getting stuck 2 or 3 more times going out. We took it back, and then the whole side of it, it's all muddy, and there's some cracks and scratches and everything, and it was rough.
What is this? Does no one care about? Like, did you guys hear anything about this?
No. Never heard anything about it.
We just
What was
like
your
to
camp-
ignore our problems.
Fair enough. That's fair. I mean, we all have our own demons, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That was like such a golden time. And that was also the same night Nick and one of the other guys were running around, we weren't running, we were walking around campus yelling, free rim jobs.
Free rim jobs.
That's it. Right
Just
there.
like that.
You know, I did a lot of stupid things with a lot of stupid people in college. I don't think I ever met this level of stupidity, guys.
It may have been
Like,
stupid, but like, those are great memories. Every single one of them.
yeah, you know, I absolutely never said they weren't. Damn, you guys, I'm envious. I'm envious.
I honestly think we had some golden college years. Like, and when they overlapped, it was just beautiful. Now I'm just sitting here all by myself in my dorm room, and I'm like, well, what the fuck am I going to do today? I'll just make some ramen and watch Netflix.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, it's exactly what I did all day today.
And just keep messaging me. When are you coming?
Yeah, I'm sitting here bored.
Will you tell Dylan to hurry up?
My wife bores me, right? I want solid friends to hang out with. She's gonna get pissed when she hears that. And she don't listen. What am I worried about?
We can cut it out.
No, we can leave. I don't give a shit. What? You guys hear that? Is that a knock on the door? Might be our first special guest. Where are you going? I was kidding. There's no knock on the door. It's just a bit.
This guy is so gullible.
I didn't know how to transition into it. And with our very first special guest on this episode, we are joined together by none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Dylan Stansberry. Dylan, how you doing, bud?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Peachy, man. Peachy. So, Dylan, I've known you for too long now.
A very long time.
Hey, tell the fans out there, all like 6 of them, a little bit about yourself. Who are you, man?
Well, my name is Dylan Stansberry. I'm a physical therapy student at West Virginia University. I like to draw and work out in my free time.
Hey, and credit to our logo, Dylan Stansberry Production.
Yes, I drew the logo. I've known Josh since like kindergarten, and Blake since like 4th grade, and then David and Nick I met in college.
Oh, yeah,
now we're all chums.
We're there now. So, you mentioned Nick. I don't know. I've never actually been physically around Nick a super lot. I would assume you have more so than me.
Yes.
What is Nick? Why is Nick? Explain Nick.
How is Nick?
Well, I don't know if anyone can like fully explain Nick, but Nick's a good guy.
Sure.
He was a year ahead of me in college. On the cross country team, that's how we met. Blake and I were roommates. We started college together, obviously, and Nick was a year ahead of us, and he kind of just took us under his wing. Just a great guy.
The best guy. Yeah, going up to Davis Nelkins was a good time. I get to see you two, get to see Magda there, and Nick, of course. We run around campus. As I mentioned earlier in the episode, we walked around campus with a bottle of Jim Beam. Were you with us that day, Dylan? I don't know if you were. I can't remember.
I don't think I was that time. I think I was in class. I got out of class when you guys were done with the Jim Beam.
What a nerd. Was that even deja vu that weekend? I don't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Because that was the day you guys went down to Trey's apartment and made like Jello shots or something.
Yeah.
But you drank all the Jim Beam.
The whole ball. Yeah, that was a rough day. That was rough. So, Dylan, you've been around Nick a good bit.
Yep.
I would assume he's always been an idiot. Do you have any good stories?
Oh, I'm sure I have a few. One of my favorites is probably the night the cross country team went to one of our teammates, Marissa. Her uncle had an outdoor pool and like a tiki bar next to his pool, and his goal was just to like try and get everyone drunk, pretty much. And Nick and like Matt and all them were like, "Oh, there's no way you're not going to get us drunk." All that stuff, talking all tough and stuff. Well, they learned how wrong they were very early on when he was making all these shots and all this stuff, and yeah, they learned their lesson. But I distinctly remember being in the hot tub with Nick after he had a bit to drink at this point, and he's just like dozing off. His eyes just keep getting heavy, and he's just like sinking, and all you can see is like his nose above the water. That's about it. And then we're like, "Nick, you good?" He's like, "Well, yeah, I'm good. And then he like sits up again, and he's all fine, acts like he's all fine. And then like 5 minutes later, he's like back in the water. You can just see his nose again. Yeah, we had to like fish him out of the hot tub and everything, but it was a good time. Good time.
I feel like Nick talks a lot when it comes to drinking. He can back himself up. He can. I'll give him that. He can back himself up. But
Yes, that he can.
He gets himself into some situations every now and then.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my
Well,
freshman
the guys
year, the saying was, "You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning." So
Hell yeah.
True. It's solid saying.
So that night or that day we walked around with that bottle of Jim Beam. But I got up at about 9:30 p.m. to go into night shift, and I got off at about 7 a.m. Drove to Elkins, tried to sleep and couldn't. Stayed up all day, was drinking all day, all night. I ended up staying up for like 32 hours all in all. It was insane. But yep, I was with Nick for most of that.
Totally worth it though, right?
Oh yeah, he's a complete stooge. Well, any closing thoughts?
One more thing, I just gotta shout out to Nick. It's probably the best memory I have with Nick is we were always Pong partners, and I think we lost like 2 games our whole career. So
Yeah.
just shout out to Nick for that.
I
Pong
feel like
champs.
you carried Nick way more often than he carried you.
I wouldn't say that.
Well,
I feel like we
that's
carried.
because you're just really humble. But from watching it, that's my experience.
Yeah, Don, you're good.
Not that good at beer pong, but
That's okay. That's
Folks,
shit.
he is lying to you.
See, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think I'm an above average Pong player most days, right? And I go to Davis and Elkins College to play, and everyone just smacks me. It is ridiculous. It's not even close. It's everybody at that school.
We have nothing else to do.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
fair.
David is correct.
That's fair.
But I feel like Nick and I carried each other. Like there was always one person that was on and one person that was like, eh. So I feel like it was equal.
It was less than equal. Maybe like a 30-70 with Nick at 30. But
Nah, 50-50.
this guy...
Dylan, you're way too humble. You're way too humble. Hey, when are you going to start selling your artwork, buddy? I'm going to put you on the spot right now.
I don't know.
Well, you need to start. That way we can shout you out. Because you're an awesome artist. And we thank you so much for being on here.
Oh,
Any
thank you
last
for having me.
Anything last thing you want to say to the fans or to Nick or anybody or to me? You can cuss me out if you want.
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
That's
Just,
fair.
I mean, just like David said, if you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Hey, that's our first T-shirt.
I approve of that message.
Dylan, thanks so much for joining us, buddy.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And now we are joined by our next guest, David Rose. David, how you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. So we have had zero actual communication ever in our lives. I think with most of us here. But yeah, man, just
I've played PlayStation a few times with him.
That's one thing. Just tell us who you are a little bit.
All right, so my name's David Rhodes. Was born in Virginia, moved to West Virginia when I was probably about 1 or 2 years old, and then I moved up to Tucker County when I was around 6, and I've been there ever since. Went to Tucker County High School, and then I ran cross country and track at West Virginia Wesleyan College, and then after that, I moved to Fairmont Morgantown, started working. Now I'm currently residing in Fairmont.
Okay. So I do have a thing here. I don't understand you guys as cross country. I don't get it. Why? I just don't understand cross country.
If I knew, I would tell you.
Fair enough.
It's really just kind of it was a thing that I found out I was good at, so I just kind of kept doing it. Did I enjoy it at first? Hell no. I actually quit after my first day of practice. It's actually a little side story. So my mom actually told me that, hey, there's some boys that are running at the cross country team. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means. But I knew some of the guys that were doing it because I played Little League basketball with them. So I tried it. The very first practice I went to, it was a 4-mile run. The first 2 miles were uphill.
Gosh.
And the coach said, I don't want you to stop the whole time. I'm like, you're kidding, right? I did it, and I quit for a day. And I got a call from one of the parents asking me to come back. So I went back.
See, I've been trying to run here. I've been running pretty consistently for the last 2.5 months. I ran yesterday in about 95-degree heat, and I honestly just wanted to I laid down in the dirt because it was the only shady part where I parked at. I literally just laid in the dirt for a good 10 minutes. I was I was wanting to die, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so you don't run on those days. You don't do that. Not if you don't have to.
Well, see, I kind of have to is the thing, because we have a bet going in our group. We have to work out 5 days out of the week. And if you miss more than 2 days, it's a shot of tequila for every day you miss. I'm already at 8 shots. Yeah, so it's rough.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 8. That's not good.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Good luck with that.
I'll probably start paying up here this weekend, but that's another topic for another day. So yeah, you definitely know the dear sweet Nicholas the most. Where'd you meet him? Was it cross country?
So the first time I actually met him was Little League basketball.
Okay.
I think it was my 4th grade year. So in our Little League basketball, it was like 1st grade to 4th grade, and then once you got into 5th grade to I think it was 6th, you were in a different league. So I played with him for 1 year, and that was when I first met him. His dad and my dad were our coaches.
I had this vision of Nick, little like slender, tall guy, and just imagine him like 4th grade. I still imagine the same height, just somehow skinnier, more lanky.
No,
really?
He was half the height.
Oh.
He was very scrawny, very small.
I like that. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, you know Nick for a while then, right?
Yeah.
Same high school and everything.
So yeah, So I didn't go to like public school. I was homeschooled up till 8th grade. So I knew him then, and then it was pretty much like I didn't know him again until high school.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as you know, I'm sure you've got a good story or two about him.
I got a couple.
Hey, whatever you want to say.
So I guess one of the first stories I'll say, I actually don't remember, but I know if Nick hears this, he's going to remember this. Apparently, whenever we were in Little League, the year that we were both on the same team, we actually ended up getting 2nd overall we lost the championship game, but we actually ended up getting 2nd overall that year, which is the best we had ever done. Uh-huh. And Nick to this day still tells me that the first thing he remembers of me is I apparently made a game-winning 3-point shot, and I don't remember it. I hate that I don't remember it, but I don't remember it.
It just happens so
he swears
often.
up and
He
down
just-
I did, and I don't remember. So I'm just like, hey, I'll take credit for something I don't remember.
I feel like that's one of those things you look back and tell your grandchild, like, yeah, when I was your age,
Yeah, I
I hit
did
the
that.
game winning,
I guess I did, but I don't remember it. Even my dad says he remembers it, so I guess it must have happened.
You were just so in the zone, you just don't remember anything.
Probably. I'm a very competitive person when it comes to sports.
It's that Mamba mentality, man. Rest in peace, 2-4.
Yeah. I guess I'd say the next story that I probably have about him is actually the next time that I really met him, which was going into high school. So I was a senior in high school, and I was the only senior on the cross country team. And Nick just came up as a freshman. I think it was our first week of actual practice, and we did the run that I mentioned earlier that I quit on the very first day. And it had just finished raining. And, as a senior, you have to give some kind of rite of passage.
Right.
So I sprinted out to the front, jumped up and grabbed a tree limb and soaked everybody behind me. And I don't know, it was kind of after that we really started becoming friends and everything and hung out all the time. And he really pushed me a lot through my senior year, which was not a very good year for me. It should have been a lot better than it was, but I mean, a lot of other things that we really did was we'd play basketball a lot. We would always do like dunk contests. We'd go to each other's houses. We would lower the rims because we can't jump very high. We're cross country runners.
No,
we don't jump high unless you're track, and then some of you jump far, but that's about it. And
we run far. We don't jump.
yeah, that's true. I do remember whenever I was in college training, and I forgot to get my run in for the day, and it was like 9:30 at night. I don't know if you've ever been to Nick's house.
I've been up around there, yeah.
Okay, so there's a walking trail that goes down by the river, and I was like, "Hey Nick, I need to go get a run in." Even though it's like 10 o'clock, I need to get my run in for the day because we had to log ours. And we had to send it out over a Facebook group message. So it was like I hated lying about it, but sometimes I did. I think we all did, but I hated doing it. And yeah, so I went and got ready to run. He grabbed his bike because he was still in high school at the time and grabbed a flashlight. And that was some of the darkest area I have ever been through. I forgot that it was completely tree covered. And I feel like at one point the flashlight went out. And you couldn't see your hand in front of your face.
This is like the start of a bad, scary movie.
It really was. I don't remember actually what happened after that. I think we just turned around and left. But I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm not running. It was weird.
I do have to say though, I don't know I really like running like around midnight. I don't know what it is. But
yeah.
Because I work a bunch of shift work. I'll work days one week, evenings next, and nights. I work evenings. I get off work. I go run. And both weeks that I've done that, I've set my personal best on the 2 mile. I don't know what it is, but running at midnight when no one else is out there, nice and cool. I like that.
Oh yeah, we
You're a freaking weirdo.
I mean, yeah, I never once denied that in my life, pal.
We stupidly did that in college one time. We decided to go out and run down the streets of Buckhannon at 11 o'clock at night. I'm surprised none of us got hit. It was, yeah, it wasn't good. There was like 4 of us. So we had a nice little group of people that could have just got plowed over by some car.
See, I don't know if I've ever seen Nick run, but I've always heard that story. Like, you probably tell that story better, Blake, but when, you know what I'm talking about. I believe. I know we've told this story on this podcast before. I know we have.
Yeah. Are you talking about whatever it was him and Mason and they're in freaking out running the streets after a party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick goes running down an alleyway. Him and Mason are running down an alley. Or not running, they're just walking and they're being plastered. And like Mason or Nick turn around and see a cop coming behind them. Well, Nick instinctively just takes off running.
That's the smart thing to do. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
job.
So the cop ends up just coming around the other side of the alleyway and cutting him off. So they get stopped, and Nick's explanation was, "We're runners. That's what we do." It was gold. Like, and then the next 2 weeks of him, because this was the last 2 weeks of senior year. The next 2 weeks, that's all we got to hear was, "We're runners. That's what we do."
Oh my! I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, you guys are a special breed. I'll give you that. You runners. I can't. I don't get it. Any closing thoughts or messages to the groom or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I wish the best for him. I mean, I'm married. I've been married for 5 years now. So, and the funny thing is, his wife to be, his name's Laura. My wife's name is Laura. So it's very weird. Yeah, it's very weird.
Same person.
But I hope not. It's a little weirder.
That's going to be a crazy movie when it comes out.
Oh my!
2 best friends married to the same girl when they don't even know it.
Welcome to
I think I've
Lifetime.
watched a video of this.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm happy for him. The first time I actually got to meet her was they actually came over to Fairmont to eat dinner, and we met him over there. That was the first time I'd met her. I think I've only met her twice.
Yeah, that's a handful for us, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, being that far away, it's
Absolutely,
understandable.
absolutely.
But yeah, I'm happy for him. Hope the best for him.
Yeah, they're 2 peas in a pod.
I've figured all the pictures and stuff that I've seen.
Yeah,
I can pretty much guarantee it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, David, I can't thank you enough for joining us, man.
Not a problem. Anytime.
Hey, man. Hey, just drive safe for me. All right.
Okay, I will.
And with our next guest, coming to us live from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Matt Zorn. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm just doing fantastic. Yeah,
That's good. Great to hear.
doing so good.
Well, you're just walking around campus right now, trying to avoid hide and seekers.
There's kids playing hide and seek out here, jumping around, screeching, and I'm currently stepping over many cockroaches here. Big boys. It's like riding. You step on one, and it's like a skateboard takes you across campus. Bastards.
That's fucking awesome, man.
They're huge. Yep.
Oh, I mean, so for the people who don't know who you are, man, tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my corporeal being, I guess, I have a master's in ceramics, an MFA, master's in fine art, with a concentration in ceramics, from Louisiana State University, Mechanical and Agricultural College in Baton Rouge. And what else? I mean, I like food a lot.
You're in the minority on that one, I think. Not
so,
many of us
yeah.
like food.
Yeah, I know a lot of people just force it because it's so painful for them. But yeah, I actually enjoy the stuff. Can't get enough of it. What else? I mean, geez, I drive a Subaru.
Security number, you know.
Yeah, do you want it? I do. I watch a lot of horror movies. That's something me and Nick bond over.
Okay.
We share titles and stuff back and forth. We both listen to different podcasts about horror movies, but we both we kind of like talk about that quite a bit. Actually,
yeah, man. So
yeah.
you graduated with Nick from Davis and Elkins, right?
Yeah.
You
Good old
guys didn't
D&E,
go to the
yeah.
same high school though, right? You went to different high schools.
God no, that man went to Tucker County, and I went to Doddridge County. So I was like,
I didn't even Doddridge.
2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went, the Bulldogs, and he was the Mountain Lions. So yeah, we went to different schools.
Well, you're one of those lunatic runners, so I assume that you guys met in cross country.
Yeah, actually, the day that we met was the whatever D&E called it. They slapped some name onto it. It was like the Athletic Visitors Appreciation Day, something. But anyhow, yeah, I sat across from Nick at the luncheon table, and yeah, I met Nick's mom, and I met this kid, Nick, and I was like, "Hey, I'm here for cross country. How about you?" And he's likewise,
Did you say that's seductive too?
Yeah, I said, "Hey, buddy." I said, "Hey, big boy," and he, told me he worked for the ski resort Timberline, and I thought I could probably get some free tickets off this guy. So that's how we came to be friends. Is mainly to my benefit. Was just getting free lift passes off of this guy. So, but yeah, we were on the same cross country team. Yeah. We worked very similar hours at school, so we would both work pretty late into the night. He would work in chemistry, and I would do stuff in ceramics.
What a nerd. Chemistry.
God, the guy sucks. Like, it's crazy, Yeah, no, he's good at chemistry. So.
Oh, absolutely is. He says stuff I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. I'm like, yeah. All right, cool, man. Let me know when you're a great scientist. I don't know.
Yeah, he does. He talks a lot of nonsense, and I just tell him to shut the fuck up. That usually does the trick. Same with PJ, though. Yeah. Geez, what the weird thing, I guess, is I met Nick years before college.
Really?
And we only knew that, but there's a lot of weird stuff, actually. Okay, so I'll start from the most recent thing. Nick and I and PJ all ran cross country in high school around the same time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, eventually we had, like, I think Nick's mom or somebody's mom, PJ's, probably Nick's mom, had a photo album, right, of Nick. This was the state meet, right? And there you could see us three running together, me, Nick, and PJ, in this crowd at Cabell awesome. Midland. And that was weird. Yeah. So you could see the three of us. And I didn't know who Nick was. I knew who PJ was because I pretty much tried to kick his ass every single meet. We were competitors before we were teammates. And then before that, I was probably in fourth grade, maybe fourth grade. I don't know. Yeah, fourth grade-ish. And I went to see the Globetrotters at the WVU Coliseum.
Wow,
and you. Yeah, buddy. It was, I mean, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I saw Flight Time, and I saw him dunk on a general. So that's all I got to say. But
I'm going to pretend like I know who those people are.
And that doesn't matter. But what, PJ was at the same thing when he was a little tyke before I even knew him. Yeah. And Nick was too. So it was kind of just some weird in the esoteric world, we would say,
kind of like
correspondences.
Kind of like you guys have always meant to be lovers, just haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, you could think of it that way, or it's just this horrible magnetism I just absolutely hate. I cannot shake him, and I move. I go to the south, and here we are. He's fucking
Shit. He's
5
right there.
hours away from me. I mean, he's on my heels constantly. It's like we're running all over again, So
Hey, it's like they say, you can't run from your problems. You gotta face them head on.
that's true. Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, hey, man, 4 years at the same school. I'm sure you got a good story of Nick.
Oh God. I mean, like, oh geez. Oh, yeah. Well, now that you ask me, I'm losing my train of thought. There are. I mean, I could give you probably like 500 different stories of.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Okay. So there was I would say, there are many stories I could tell that would be inappropriate. I would say.
We'll keep it semi. We can embarrass him a little bit. We'll keep it semi G-rated here.
All right. I'll tell a nice story. Okay, so this was like this same dude that on literally like day one of D&E, right? I knew he worked for Timberline, but later on, I'd say our junior year, he invited me to this they call it like Fire on the Mountain, but it's this thing out on Timberline where you basically go up middle of the night, they shut off all the lights, you hold this bamboo rod that has flaming hot, you're thinking I was going to say flaming hot Cheetos, has flaming hot torches on either side, and you ski down the mountain at night, and there's this trickle where from a distance it looks kind of like the lights kind of look like lava flowing down the mountain. And, snowy luau, that's what they call it.
Okay.
So yeah, so geez, it had been a while since I skied. I had just got off this kind of like I had a stress fracture in my foot, and anyhow I was coming back, and Nick invited me to do this thing, and PJ's not a big skier, but he tagged along too. So we just made a thing of it, and it was total ice. The mountain was completely covered in ice, which is what you do not want. The wind was fucking snapping us. It was, I was freezing and not really sure what to expect. And then it registered with me that you weren't skiing with ski poles. So I was like, oh shit, how am I gonna do this? And so I was like, okay. And then it registered with me, on my way. So we're on a ski lift, right? We're going up, and I'm having all these thoughts, and everyone else on the ski lift that's doing it, they're just kind of screaming and shouting. And I was like, okay. I kind of went inside of myself in the nervousness. And, Nick hands me a bottle of whiskey, and you start drinking this thing, and I'm like, okay. The closer I get to the mountain, I'm like getting the courage, right? We're moving up. And then it registered with me that I had to run I had to do the Black Diamond.
Yep.
And I had never skied a Black Diamond before. I was like, oh shit. So, anything that the whiskey did was undone when I got to the top of the mountain. And, I was like, okay, I'm just going to cling to Nick, essentially. And they lit our bamboo torches, and I was like, dude, do you think I can do this? And he had full faith in me. And I was
that's a friend right there.
That's a friend. I was like, yeah. He was kind of getting me pumped up, and I'm like, okay, we can do this. Yeah. And the dude, some old ski bum guy, some total badass, but he's like, all right, do not fall. If you fall, these torches will burn right through your body. You'll just burn a hole through your body, anything they touch. And do not let go of them either if you fall. And I was like, oh God. And of course, like Nick, who can literally ski the thing backwards,
Oh yeah.
just flies down, and I I was like, oh shit. I saw how steep it was and how slick it was,
Yep.
and I would say 45 seconds in, I fell, and I just
Yep.
rolled most of the way down the mountain, clinging to this pole, sparks and snow flying at my face, and finally stood up, and I see Nick, and he stopped halfway down the mountain, and they told us specifically not to stop, but he stopped to see if I was okay. That is a friend. And after I got that fall out of the way, we both skied it down, no problems, and it was so much fun. And I met PJ down at the bottom, and we just kind of hung out by a fire. But that was literally, I'd say, in college, just like the most sublime, thrilling experience that I've had. And it's just really glad I got to share it with that sack of shit.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a very, very similar story, and it's almost identical to yours, but they ended very differently. Like, so I'm not. We take a cabin trip every year, and it was this past year was our fourth year. On the fourth, I haven't skied since our first. Haven't done it. I'm usually at the cabin by myself while everybody else is having a good time. I don't do it no more, and this is why.
Yeah.
So I'm not much. I have never skied before, maybe once in the past, and me, Blake, and Nick get on a ski lift together. I'm nervous. We're not going super high up yet. But he's like, "Hey, bud."
Yeah.
Pulls out a bottle of Jim Beam out of his coat pocket. It's like,
oh my God.
We
Nick is essentially Julian from Trailer Park Boys, I think. He's always holding in a glass, ready to go.
but
So yeah,
so eventually, the course of the day, I'm hurting myself over and over, but I'm getting a good buzz on. And Blake and Nick are ready to go up to the top of the mountain. I don't know if it's quite Black Diamond, but I'm like, fuck, I can do it. I get to the top of this fucking mountain. Now, this is why I'll never ski again. I was so close to breaking my leg, half drunk. Then Blake and Nick are just skiing circles around me. I'm holding another man's hand as he's skiing backwards down the hill. I'll never do it again. It's the most demasculating thing I've ever done in my life. Never do it again. I'm done with it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Spending some humiliating time with Nick on a mountain.
Well,
oh my God. Yeah. That is, wow. Very similar.
it was
Eerily similar.
I took off my fucking boots and I went to the bar. I was done with it. Hey, man, we can't thank you enough for joining us here today, man. I tell you, is there anywhere people can see you in your ceramics or anything like that?
I mean, I really like to astral project into other life forms.
Right,
and
as we all do.
If you look hard enough, I'll send you signs through nature. No, my username on Instagram, I pretty much only use Instagram. I was a Twitter guy for like 15 minutes, but dropped it. My Instagram account is at Matthew Zorn, MattheWZorn. And you'll probably see a lot of ceramic stuff on there, a little bit of things about my life. But yeah, that's pretty much what I use.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, again, thanks so much for joining us. And for our final guest, we are joined here live in my studio. That's what it is, a studio, Blake.
Are you sure?
It's a studio.
Really? This is
a studio.
Your little 2 foot by 1 foot.
Shut up.
Better than my
We are joined here live by PJ Luzzi. How you doing, bub?
I'm doing pretty good. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad, man. So, we learned in our last interview, Matt, that you have kind of had this, I wouldn't say relationship with Nick for a very long time, but it seems like you guys have always been
making the bed squeak.
Whoa!
Oh,
This is the first I've heard of that.
Well, Matt went into detail in the last interview I had with him. Like you guys, would run next to each other in races and show pictures and all this other stuff. You've been in each other's presence for a while. Some would say it's destiny.
That is true that we've been in the presence with each other for a while, but as far as the hands-on stuff, it's probably false.
Very personal.
Yeah.
Oh, it is personal. Okay, make sure.
So, for everyone who doesn't know who you are, who are you? Who is PJ?
Well, my name is PJ. Really don't really have a lot going on these days. Just still running marathons. Work Monday through Friday. Sort of a headache, but it gives me the life balance that I need.
Cool.
To make stuff happen.
I gotta say,
running.
I think I'm the only person that in this show or interviewed anything period that does not run at period. I think I'm it. Everyone we've interviewed, everyone's on the show. I try. It doesn't work for me.
I've seen you run and hit people wearing a ball.
A big ball.
The old knocker ball.
Knocker ball.
Yeah. That was a damn good time too.
The volleyball team got destroyed, but we got destroyed by the basketball team.
Yeah, those guys hurt. I didn't have fun after that.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I assume you've known Nick either subconsciously or consciously for some time now.
Oh yeah.
Now, how'd you guys meet? I assume through school.
I met Nick. Yeah, probably the first day.
Yeah.
Just moving into the dorms into college. Of course, didn't really know him through high school and stuff, but knew he ran.
Mm-hmm.
I knew we were going to be on the team together, so we kind of just
Yeah.
all started hanging out. Day one, Gribble Hall.
So he's always been the same amount of cuck he is now.
Decently.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, that's what, like I said earlier. I was talking to Matt there yesterday, and he made it sound like somebody's mom had a picture of the three of you running in high school, and you and Matt knew each other, but you didn't know Nick.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
It was. So we always kind of make fun for that, why weren't you up there with us back in those days? But I will give it to the kid. He and I was very proud of him. There was one day, it was at a track meet. It was a little shorter distance. It was 1,500. But that was the first time he ever beat me in a race. And I was really proud of him that day.
You don't have to admit that on there. We can edit that out and say you beat his ass. It's
well,
fine.
you got to give credit where credit's due. Anything over the 15, you go to 3,000, 5,000, it's probably going to be a couple laps behind.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, like I touched on, I'm sure you've known Nick for a while. I'm sure you've got a good story out of him, one or two at least.
Oh yeah, a couple, 3. Couple 3. All right, couple 3.
Hey, we don't have to bury him too hard on here.
You want me to start?
Sure.
All right. So I guess the first story. This was probably one of the hardest I've laughed in my life. We're running a cross country practice. I think it was a sophomore, junior year, and we were doing a warm up or something, and we found a pair of golf cart keys on the course.
Golf cart keys.
I'm not going to say who gave them to us or told us to keep them, but we did in fact turn them in. And at the end of practice, they were returned to us, given back for our possession.
So this is an every year
recreational use.
This is an every year kind of thing. Because Blake told a very similar story.
We tried to get on the cart at least once a year. Normally, Deja Vu is kind of prime time for the college issued golf cart. For like student tours and stuff.
See, I missed out. I went to a couple of Deja Vus. I missed out on the golf cart. Stealing. I'm going to call it stealing. I missed out on
Actually, we returned it. It was very perfect. From where I worked, the basketball games, like I worked the door, so I had a staff shirt.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
so
that's all stealing then.
And there's all kinds of stuff. Deja Vu weekend. There's people moving food, lights,
right,
all
sure.
that stuff. So I just threw the shirt on. So if we get caught on the golf cart, we'd be like, hey, we're just like moving some drinks or something. You know what I mean? So
you're saying all I had to do was wear a shirt that has a staff on it, and I'm good to go that day?
Yeah. Yeah. And Nick, he had a straw hat on, so that might have I might have blew our cover.
Why in the hell is he wearing a straw hat?
I don't know, but that was his deja vu hat. It was just a straw hat, and it was him.
What the hell's wrong with that guy?
I'm not
I feel like I remember that straw hat from a later date, and I don't know why. I
definitely
Probably.
seen it.
I can see him in a straw
You know,
hat.
I don't even think it was his to begin with. I think he might have found it or took it off somebody at like the first ever deja vu that we went to.
This guy's the worst. He's just the worst.
So yeah, I mean, we had that thing. We had that cart. We had it on the trails, like in the cross country course. No lights, so it was really hard to see. All you hear is just bumping up and down on the trails. And then I don't think this was my idea. I think this was Nick's smart thinking. We ended up taking it over the curve, like the sidewalk curve, and we drove clear across the library bridge and the most lighted part of the campus at that moment. But I mean, we were flying, you know, eyes wide open, tongue sticking out like a couple dogs.
Some would say
It was
just
very fun.
driving straight into your future, some would say.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
I was trying to figure out who let the dogs out. Like,
Somebody.
So is this a different golf cart from what you guys stole?
yes, it's
Okay.
a different one, different time. Like it's happened several times.
Why are they so bad with the fucking golf carts at E&E? Why is security such an issue there?
Well, the thing is, the key I think is just like kind of universal.
It is. It was every golf cart.
You know, if we wanted to get on the baseball utility golf cart, we could have. But I think the one we got on first was like the really big one. It was almost like the limo style.
That's the one we took.
But I mean, whichever one's charged will work.
Yeah, that's right.
What the hell's wrong with that school, man?
It's that school. I mean, I love it to pieces, but man, I can honestly say there is characters and people there that I will never meet or like see.
Sure.
ever again
Oh yeah.
out in life.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
kind of prepared you just for.
I mean, whenever I went to, I enjoyed the school. I love the school. It's a nice place. But from what I've learned from these interviews and talking with people, I mean, 90% of the people I've talked to so far, it's been from Davis and Elgin, but me, maybe one other person. I can't not even.
Home of the fighting squirrels. Woo!
Oh goodness! And this is a different breed up there, man. Yeah, stealing golf carts and climbing statues and borrowing.
We put it right back. I think we even plugged them back into the
I know
charger.
we plugged ours back in. It might have been like scratched up.
Hey,
broken,
I'm-
we
you know
plugged
what?
the charger back
I'm
in.
sorry, I'm the asshole. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No way, that's on me. Well, any last stories you want to share of sweet baby Nick?
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Or final
There's
thoughts?
another- Can I
Sure,
tell a
sure,
final
sure.
thoughts? Okay, so Nick, he eventually made the decision to be a resident assistant. And we all kind of, oh, Nick, why'd you do that? You don't have time to spend with your friends and stuff. You know, you got to go on duty and all that stuff. But it's all good. We made it work because we would just go hang out with him while he was on duty.
Right.
So we would really, cuddle to his needs.
You
But
cuddled him.
well, maybe. Well, not me. There was this one guy that I was just about to get to here. So it was like one of the first nights he was on duty, and these freshmen are rolling in, a little wobbly. So Nick's like, "Hey, man, like, come here, like, let's talk for a second." He's really just trying to do.
So
a
Nick
good job.
was a hard ass then.
His first night on the job, he was
He
really
is-
trying to
Nick's
lay
a
down
hard
the
ass,
law,
all right.
Which I don't blame him. You gotta go in.
Crack that whip, man. I get it.
Set the tone for these kids. So this kid comes over. He's yelling about how he's at the paint parties. He's gonna go get with this girl now. Nick's like, nah, come here. So he comes over. And Nick's folding his laundry as this is going on, and this kid was at the paint party, and it's just like this super gross, like just like paint being squirted everywhere. So this kid's like covered in paint. He comes over to Nick's laundry basket. He's out of it a little bit, so he just grabs Nick's boxers and starts wiping his face off. And Nick's like, "Dude, there's my underwear."
What?
Which side was it? Like was it crotch or was it that? Really,
I don't know if
either
either
his head at one point.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if either's better.
But then he took them off, and by that time, Nick had called security. Security was on the way over. The kid was on the run. They tried to track him down. So they eventually tracked him down. And the one thing, the security guard, the dude too was really threatening to beat Nick up. So I was kind of scared because I'm not very big. I'm like, Nick, I think I'm gonna go back to my dorm room. But I was wanting to stay there and be there with him in case he got beat up.
Be there to brush his hair after. It's okay, buddy.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to be there.
Right.
But the security guard comes in. Nick's thinking, this kid's gonna get in trouble for threatening or underage drinking, stuff like that. But the one thing the security guard says, he says, buddy, to the other kid, he's like, nothing about threat. He was more what he told the kid. He said, I want to tell you one thing right now, kid. He said, do not touch another man's trousers. The security guard was more worried that that kid touched Nick's underwear and wiped his face. I mean, that was something to be pretty worried about as well.
From what I've learned from you, the golf cart, I don't know how well of a job they're doing up there to begin with, that security.
That's fair. It was everywhere. But, we were the cross-country team, so if we got in a tight pickle, we just ran. That's what we do. We're runners. That's what we do.
I'll tell you, RAs, man. My RA at Westlake my freshman year. I lived in the same building as my... Yeah, fucking bullshit school. Basically high school. But my RD lived in the same building. He comes out and gives us a speech like, there will be no drinking. No girls in your room past 7:30. Blah, blah, blah. My RA, he was just there to play football. He's like, look, man, I'm doing this for a free room. I got 2 rules. Got a girl in the room, got to fuck her. Rule 2, you fucking her. Turn the TV up real loud so everybody else in the hallway knows about it. Never had any issues with the guy. He's great.
Did you turn the TV up?
Oh, yeah, of course. You have to. It's a rule, man.
I got it. I'm making sure you abide by the rules.
One thing I am is it's a rule follower.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, hey, PJ, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Oh, can I do one more?
Sure, absolutely, yes.
If you have not yet, make sure you go to the App Store and download this new game. Well, it's not really new. It's been out for a few years, but it hasn't really made it big. But it's called Wizard's Duel.
Oh, no.
You just kind of go through a few levels. You try to save the princess. It's definitely worth the download. It's free. Just make sure, just give it a look. Created by Nick. Nick actually created that himself.
Wizards Duel.
I don't know anything about this, but I'm going to go download this game. Well, hey, man, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Nick, Laura, congratulations, guys, and we love you. Wish you guys nothing but the best and all years of happiness.
Congratulations.
Love you guys.